Hello guys, welcome back to the Football Connect. And I repeat, this is the Football Connect, not the Football Connect LFC. The reason why I'm making that very clear, it has to be clear, is because of the person that I'm going to talk about next. Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Trent Alexander-Arnold yesterday was officially presented as a Real Madrid player. And everything that was happening, the press conference and the preparation, everything just to set it up, everything was really amazing. Like what Real Madrid does, they always make sure that they show their titles to the world. They always want an official press conference when the player comes in, talk and say everything that they have to say. Respect. This mother Carter came in and talked about the whole interview in Spanish. And he was asked by a reporter, and I really respect that reporter. Is from England, by the way, and he asked that Trent Alexander-Arnold, how have you been learning Spanish? For how long have you been learning Spanish? Because you delivered this winter press conference in Spanish. And he was like, no, a few months, a few months. Yeah, you're talking about, nothing but maybe close to 18 or 16 months of learning. That's the truth of the matter. As much as we are going to look at this the other way, if you thought that we were just hating on Trent or we were just attacking him as Liverpool fans because we have nothing to do with our lives, because we're crazy. We told you that this thing was orchestrated from a long back. And you cannot blame Liverpool for not signing him. You cannot blame Liverpool for not being able to renew his contract, because exactly after he signed the last contract of Liverpool, he had already started working on his mission to go to Real Madrid. Everyone wants to go to Real Madrid. We know that is a fact of life. Everyone wants to be a Madrid star, which is something that we respect. And that's exactly what this guy is going to be. He wants to go become a legend of Real Madrid. He wants to go win trophies, like he said. He said he wants to go play with some of the best players in the world, like he said. And he is going to do that. All of that, he is going to do that. But I just don't feel like it's fair to be told not to really react to this guy's way he really Judas carried us the way he did. Somebody was actually saying on social media that he chose jersey number 12 because Jesus walked with 12 apostles, and one of them was Judas, and the number 12 of them was Judas, and that's exactly what he did. No matter however you want to clean this, no matter however you want to look at this, the truth of the matter, he did us dirty. We were his family. We were his ride or die. We defended this guy in some undefendable situation when he was performing and things did not make sense. We stood by him. We said the truth as it was. We covered him when he was not meant to be covered, because we loved him, because he was one of our own. We loved him. He was our Scouser legend, the guy from the one who reminded us of Stevie G. And Steven Gerrard did not leave Liverpool, even though when he was not winning the titles that he needed. This guy did. This guy did when we were on our almost a highway. We were on our high. We were doing things a certain way that people never expected us to do. When we were winning, when we were fighting, when we were giving our all, that's when he left. To be honest, if we're ever going to look at this anyway, when there was no reason to leave, he did leave. And according to one former FSG or one of the players, he said that Trent Alexander told Arnold in the first week of the beginning of the season that, look, I'm going to be leaving at the end of the season. I'm going to give it my all for this season, and I will be leaving next season. And people were wondering why Arnold was more taking him out and putting Conor Bradley. He was already preparing for the future with the presence there. He said it, that I cannot play the people because that's what you want. I play players because I want to prepare for my team. He said after winning the title that I've been working on right now with what I've been doing to prepare for next season. And what do you want him to do? The player doesn't want us. Yes, someone wanted to go play. And we respect that. We have to respect that. Trent Alexander-Arnold wanted Liverpool. He wanted to go play elsewhere. And that's exactly what he did. And that's exactly how the situation goes like, played like, and moved like. And now we're here. However you're gonna look at it, it doesn't matter. It has happened. We just have to learn to move on and see what happens. We wish him all the best of luck in the world because that's the only thing we can do. Because no matter whatever that happens, he was our boy. He came in at a very young age and he achieved all he could at our club, what we could offer him, what all our players could give him, and what he actually played a part to do so. Because no matter whatever happens, that quick corner, we can never deny it. The one that won us the game against Barcelona, he did. We can never deny it. He did it. And we always going to remember it like that. But yeah, we move on, people. We move on. That's the truth of the matter. We learn to move on because he goes. He is gone. And there's nothing we can do. On the other news, because yeah, like this is the Football Connect. There is some movement that are happening in the transfer window. Cunha is now officially being presented as a United player. Said some interesting things about how much his grandmother or something loved this team. It seems like his family loved this team, and he's amazing. He's really happy with whatever that is happening. Of course, he has to because he's now at one big club. This club has been so big for some time. We understand that recently the weight has fallen since 2011, but it's still that. Still that. It's still Manchester United. It's Man United we're talking about, eh? You have to understand. So the respect will always be there and things will always be clear that. We have to respect that. That's the truth of the matter. On the other story, and I think that's really important, on the other story, Victor Gokores has been really on the line right now. So the 27-year-old who was meant to be the cheapest of them all strikers, it turned out that this was just another power play from the agent and from the player. There was a gentleman's agreement, we're told, but according to the director of sporting, he's not taking that to, he's not believing into that. He will not waste his time listening to that some crazy things that the agent is saying. Victor Gokores will go for the power play money he has to go for, but they're not going to sell him at a cheaper price. Doesn't matter of whatever gentleman's agreement you think has happened. He is going to pay the one that they have to pay. And it's going to be interesting to see. And Victor Gokores has put on IG when he says that he will speak when he has to speak. That's the only thing that he has to say. He will speak when the time is right. At the moment, he's just going to take everything by the chin and move on like the big Steve that we love from the big six. It's really interesting to see how things are playing out like when it comes to this. Benjamin Sesko or Victor Gukres, that's where Arsenal are because we're being told that they have taken a step in trying to sign Victor. And also we are also hearing that there is they did bid and I heard that Sporting will reject that bid. So we have to see how that one plays out like. Because I mean, Sesko wants to go to Arsenal, but Arsenal don't look like they're gonna be doing that. On the other side, on the other situation, you got Ekitike. Looks like he could have three clubs to decide upon. Even though we know Chelsea never really did so much in terms of trying to get the player, there is some rumors that there is United that are now in the mix. They talk to the players camp and they're trying to move on and see if they can get, if they cannot get Gokores, they'll try to get Hugo Ekitike. But Hugo Ekitike has some teams that have been after them, and one of them is the Premier League champions, Liverpool. But the Liverpool situation will only happen when Darwin Núñez leave, and with what we're being told by Fabrizio Ramon, the decision has been made. Darwin Núñez is going to be leaving Liverpool. So what does this mean? Are Liverpool going to be beat to the player by Manchester United because they're still working on their players that they want to sell, or maybe they're already working on that side? Or maybe we move on to the Chelsea side because it seems like they did ask, but that's where it ended, only on the asking part. Frankfurt are still asking for 100 million euro. That is not changing. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out like, but it's a big transfer window, people. And I think, what's the date? The next week, Monday, in 2 days, it opens up again until September. So let's see how the movement goes on like. Thomas Frank has been presented as the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. In fact, it has been officially announced by the club. It was a here we go a long time ago, but it has now been officially announced by the club. We're seeing a lot of things happening. Movements are happening from one place to another. Can this have an impact on the Mbeumo deal? Because Thomas Frank, of course, we understand he's a player who was really needed by this team for some time. So he's a good manager, but he will want to improve that Tottenham Hotspurs. And Ben, the guy who scored that goal in Europa, what's his name? Of Mbeumo. I would take Mbeumo all the day. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out like, but that's what we're being told. All the Liverpool transfers people are going to be on the Football Connect LFC. Just to give you everything that is happening with all the teams that are players that are not Liverpool wise, all the news that main stories that are not Liverpool wise, and that's it. Thomas Frank, Trent Alexander-Arnold, or Trent now it's called Trent Alexander-Arnold, Victor Gokores, Sesko with United City, or with Arsenal. Oh, I've talked about a lot of things. Like that video, subscribe to the Connect. I'll see you now when we are out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect.